63% fucking buying a house without seeing it is so, or putting an offer up without seeing it is so insane, dude.
US is arguably harder than ever before.
There's a bidding war for literally every home on the market, every fixer-upper, every house that needs even a lot of work.
My neighbors, actually, because we were on vacation, were calling me and texting me saying, like, what is going on at your house? There's people in a line down the block. We saw 2 people having a fight.
With city dwellers emigrating to the suburbs and families looking for home offices and bigger yards, prices for the American dream home have skyrocketed. Home prices surged in March 2021, up 13% from the year prior, according to the S&P Case-Shiller Index.
Everybody expected housing to really sort of dry up with the rest of the economy, and in fact, the opposite has happened.
With homeowners unwilling to sell, a record low supply of homes for sale has forced buyers into intense bidding wars. At the end of April 2021, there were only 1.16 million houses for sale in the U.S., down 20.5% from the year prior. Higher costs for land, labor, and building materials have also impacted home builders.
So currently in the United States, we have a huge shortage of housing. We're not producing nearly as much housing as we should be.
We know that home ownership is the primary way of getting into the middle class, but unfortunately, there are many impediments to that are divided by class and particularly race.
With the 30-year fixed mortgage rate hovering near a 50-year low and a strong demand pushing prices to all-time highs, why is the housing supply so meager? Is the U.S. running out of houses?
The housing shortage conversation is kind of bullshit, and here's why. There are so many vacant fucking properties, dude. There are so many vacant properties that are just simply being held on to because of how expensive the land is. Like, that's what it is. It's easier to just like sit on a fucking vacant home, and there's not enough punitive measures, not enough regulation to make it so that it is unsustainable to just sit on a fucking property, which it should be, but that will never change because it's so valuable for gigantic banks to just fucking buy out as much as they can and just sit on it that, you know, why the fuck shouldn't people do that? Yeah, it's too expensive to have someone live in it when you can just wait for the value to go up. Real estate is out of your depth. Real estate is out of your depth, buddy. Are you going to start wearing makeup with your nail polish? Yikes, that sounds like communism. Thanks, buddy.
The U.S. real estate market is red hot. Since the start of the pandemic,
it's interesting that you say that because it's literally true. And it's not just my take. This guy, smart man, go ahead, explain to me why the housing market is the way it is. Then, please.
5% of buyers who purchased a home did so without even physically seeing the home in person. In many markets, competitive bidding wars are the norm.
There's a bidding war for literally every home on the market, every fixer-upper, every house that needs even a lot of work. It's still just a crazy bidding war.
Our house had 44 offers on it.
With his New York City office shut due to the pandemic and looking for more space for his family, in the summer of 2020, Justin Goldberg and his wife Jessica put their 3-bedroom Bloomfield, New Jersey home on the market. The house listed for $399,000.
My neighbors, actually, because we were on vacation, were calling me and texting me saying, like, what is going on at your house? There's people in a line down the block. We saw 2 people having a fight.
With multiple 6-figure offers over the asking price, the house sold for $542,000, over $140,000 more than what the couple was asking for. But the family then found themselves struggling to find a new home.
It was definitely a risk for us to take because we knew that the pandemic wouldn't last forever. His job said, you'll be working from home for the foreseeable future.
Basically, any seller is trying to force a bidding war to happen on every property instead of selling it at asking price. Yes and no. There are also a lot of fucking buyers right now, as we said.
And gave up their office space in the city.
With little inventory on the market, the couple signed a 1-year lease on a rental. And on the advice from their realtor, they then modified their house search from looking for a move-in ready home.
Dude, these people are so strange when people say there is a housing shortage, vacant properties in the middle of Wyoming. Tell anyone from Cali to move to Wyoming. Goddamn, you're dumb. Like, are you so this person has to be 14, right? Actually, no, because even a 14-year-old would recognize that, like, uprooting yourself in this way would be probably sad because you would lose all of your fucking friends. You know what I mean? And your little childhood crush. Like, it's just, even a fucking 14-year-old has more processing power than this person for making such a fucking idiotic statement. And I hate when people say this. It's like, oh, I can't believe it. Like, just move somewhere else, dude. Just move somewhere else. This is before we factor in how expensive it is to just like move to a completely different area, what the job opportunities look like in that fucking area too. Like, I don't understand. Like,
to a fixer-upper.
I'm telling you, immediately you walk into the house that you want to buy and you get the feeling. And I got the feeling. And we walked through the house and it was not in good condition. The bones were there, you know, there was nothing structurally wrong with the house. Everything was technically in good shape.
what is the progressive socialist solution? I already told you. The actual like social democratic slash, if you want, socialist solution beyond like anarcho-communism or fucking Marxist-Leninist historically and the takes that they've had on housing is literally making it unaffordable to be a landlord, making it rather not even be a landlord, but making it unaffordable to sit on fucking vacant properties and then making it unaffordable to purchase multiple properties and sit on them or rent them out. But the immediate solution is making it so that it's impossible to just like fucking sit there and wait for this thing to accrue value. That's how you would do it. How do you do that? Empty home taxes. I mean, there are always going to be loopholes beyond that too, though. For example, one of the ways that you can avoid that is by like repurposing the land to something that is more tax beneficial. Then simultaneously, while you're doing that, you need to fuck the market up on purpose by forcibly creating or forcibly buying out and rezoning certain areas to have affordable housing, or rather public housing. That's how you're supposed to do it. Another thing you're supposed to do is run an ad at the top of the hour every hour for 60 seconds so that you can end up buying a house. But of course, if you want to avoid those ads, you can do something. It's a very simple step, and that is, of course, subscribing. You can subscribe for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime. That was the best one yet. That was my best segue. No one saw that coming. Yeah, go ahead. Deny it. Deny it that was a good ass fucking segue, dude. The more people get mad, the more I know that, like, the more you justify that it was a good ass transition. Here's the ad break.
Everything that needed to be changed was pretty cosmetic, but every single room in the house needed changes.
The family of four found a 4-bedroom fixer-upper in Randolph, New Jersey, with more space and a bigger yard.
We wanted a bedroom for each of our children, and an extra office or a guest room would have been fantastic.
Although the home was already under attorney review, the couple put in a higher bid and ended up buying the house for $555,000. According to experts, a few key steps homebuyers can take to navigate the ultra-competitive market include getting pre-approved for a mortgage, finding a good real estate agent, and figuring out exactly how much you're willing to spend. An additional option first-time homebuyers have is to rent the home back to the seller while they look for their new home.
My best advice at this time is if you don't want to overspend, go into a house knowing that you're going to do a little work and you'll probably get it for a better price. And honestly, you can turn it into your dream home.
Dude, that's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, just go buy a house that's already fucking expensive, and then on top of that, literally pay to renovate it. Such a good fucking example, man. What if they don't have capital, dog? What the fuck? Yeah, just go buy a fixer-upper, dude. Yeah, because everyone has like enough money to just like rent out another apartment while their house is being worked on and shit. You know what I mean?
The U.S. has a housing shortage. With potential sellers unwilling to show their homes during the pandemic, in April 2021, there were 1.16 million U.S. homes for sale, down 20.5% from a year earlier. That lack of inventory has helped push the median price of existing homes higher, up a little over 19% from the previous year to a historic $341,600. One key factor in that price jump is with fewer, less expensive homes on the market, sales at the higher end accounted for
that's so interesting. That's so weird. Wonder why.
much of the activity. During that same period, homes were selling in record time.
It's like rich people are just like swapping fucking expensive houses amongst themselves. You know what I mean? Like they're the only ones who have fucking money to just engage in this sort of behavior. They're just like, here, you take my fucking $70 million mansion. No, you take my $15 million mansion. Okay, here you go.
Time too, typically just 17 days on the market. While several large publicly traded companies like NVR, Lennar, Beazer Homes and Hovnanian Enterprises construct single-family homes, townhouses, and condos. The vast majority of new construction in the U.S. is done by small businesses.
Home building is one of the last real vestiges of small business in America. The overwhelming number of housing, and I want to say it's close to 75 or 80%, is built by small businesses, mostly family-owned.
Public housing is fine, but without a private market as well, who get the beachfront beautiful house? Or is everyone just assigned to live in some bleak standard house with basic utilities? I'm sure you don't want that for yourself, right? We need to both. Dude, I didn't even say, why is the fucking inception of public housing, like why is the mention of public housing immediately triggering some fucking synapses, like firing some synapses in your brain that leads you to believe like, oh, if the government is making houses, that means the government is making all houses. That means the government is assigning all houses by party loyalty. You know, if you're a part of the party apparatus, that means that you get to have good real estate. If not, you have bad real estate. All of a sudden, we are jailing landlord. What the fuck is going on? Why am I speaking like this? Suka bliat! What is happening? All you had to do was say public housing. And now the slippery slope, I've slipped all over it.
All over the country.
Stop it!
Those builders have faced serious hurdles in recent years, including pandemic-related.
Also, live in some bleak standard house with basic utilities and massive privilege self-report. Like, literally, most people have no fucking access to living in some bleak standard house with basic utilities. So I'm pretty sure if you asked the overwhelming majority of people, like, actually not in America, but if you asked, because even in America, even the poorest of the poor are just like, nah, dog, like, I don't want that, because then I can be a millionaire one day and I'm not going to have that fucking nice house. You know, maybe not in this community, but in most communities, motherfuckers would be like, oh, I don't want that kind of fucking shit because one day I'm going to be a millionaire and then I will not want to live in substandard houses like that.
Related supply chain disruptions that have caused a spike in the price of building materials like drywall, steel, and wood.
The supply chain is in complete disarray right now from COVID.
The poster child for that.
Wait, I want to see what he said. Real estate is out of your depth, this guy said. What else did he say? Oh, supply and inflation. Oh, shit, dude. My bad, dude. Oh, sorry. So when it's in your depth, it's something that is easily disprovable. Never mind. Wow, dude, you're fucking r/investing Andy, dude. This guy gets all the hottest real estate tips from the Instagram guy he follows that wears like a fucking suit that's 2 sizes too small on his body, but has a fucking loud ass pocket square who routinely posts about how he's a lion. Thank God I just got owned by that guy.
That is lumber.
Sorry, even that guy is a bit more of a shark and a lot smarter than the other idiot who only gets his knowledge from that other guy. So you are even stupider than that, dude.
May 2021, lumber prices are up more than 300% from a year ago. According to the National Association of Home Builders, rising lumber prices have added almost $36,000 to the price of a new single-family home. An aging workforce and challenging immigration policies have also led to a shortage of construction workers.
We simply don't have enough people, therefore labor prices are going through the roof.
Labor was a problem for us during the last housing boom and during the recovery, and it's even more of a problem now because in many places it is easier for potential workers not to come back to work and stay on the sidelines.
An even bigger problem might be the land that houses are built on. As of April 2021, the price per single lot is up 11% compared to last year. Real estate data firm Zonda said new lot supply is down 24% from a year ago.
And the challenge moving forward is infill. How do we invest in cities, into older suburbs? How do we reinvigorate with greater density things like accessory dwelling units for your mother-in-law in the backyard? How do we handle people who are challenged with affordable housing? It's all going to mean that we have new development patterns, we need new forms of housing. So yes, we're not building enough housing, and we need to double or triple that rate of housing just to meet natural growth in our economy. And I think we can do that, but we have to do that by thinking of new forms.
Like, by the way, for the record, I'm not even anti-fucking build more housing. I just want to state that once again. I am not against building more housing. The problem is, we're not building more housing that's affordable. Whenever there's new constructions, it's these like luxury high rises, and I don't even know who the fuck it's being sold to. Like, where is the luxury high rises going to? Can someone please explain to me who the fuck is buying these massive properties or massive apartment complexes in downtown LA? There is Zero people living in them. It makes no fucking sense, dude. Serious answer, the Chinese. I mean, that's one answer, but that doesn't make up the entirety of it. Students live in them where I am. Yeah, don't forget about foreign investors in big cities. I know that foreign investors either A, purchase properties like this as a fucking way to get a green card, because like a certain amount of investment and you like automatically qualify for the green card lottery, or they buy it because it's a good fucking investment for them across the board. Young professional class, software engineers and such. No, these fucking houses, these developments in downtown LA are empty, dude. They are literally fucking empty. Motherfuckers are buying it to park their money because they think one day people are gonna want to buy that apartment, or people are going to want to rent that apartment. Zoning regs make building lower price housing no longer profitable. Reducing regulations would allow more diverse housing to be built. Yeah, that shit. Yeah, you're not going to fucking win me over with that, okay? No, they're not. My mom works in downtown LA. There's young people in DTLA apartments. Okay. Yeah, dude, totally. Just like build fucking plastic houses, dude. Like build some plastic ass houses, bro. Come on, dude. Just fucking murder poor families, dude. Build some goddamn Lego houses. Don't do social housing. We need more government involvement. That means public housing units owned by the city, social housing owned by the tenants. Regulation has been relaxed way too much, and that's resulted in investment in luxury housing only. I know, I fucking mentioned that, and then people say I have a small brain, and I just don't have the unfathomable brain processing power to comprehend how complicated this is. Zoning regulation makes housing more expensive. Dude, zoning laws for single-family homes and residential buildings are actually really weak compared to other building-type zoning regulations. Like, you say this, but like the argument is so fucking stupid. Oh, it's actually like, how have capitalists fed you this idea? How have capitalists fed you this idea that it's actually the regulations that are causing people to go and build like insane fucking luxury condominiums rather than affordable housing whenever there is an opportunity to build something? Anyway, they let regular people own this apartment condo complex. They refuse to sell. The city pissed off they can't sell property close to the university. There is no something called public housing. I mean, there is very, very limited publicly funded housing. There's Section 8 housing, which is still dog shit and incredibly predatory for the most part. But that is like literally, if you're lucky, you can get that. Loans for private contractors are often given away like candy for housing developments in areas that need affordable housing, but they make more money making those condos while stealing money from the public housing, like the project in Buffalo. Our mayor and others are under investigation for stealing public housing funds. NIMBYs, no one wants affordable housing in their neighborhood, driving their house price down. So that's one fucking problem. NIMBYs have an issue, but NIMBY ranges from everything from like people that don't want affordable housing in their neighborhoods, all the way to people that don't want to fucking like oil fracking well behind their goddamn house. NIMBY means not in my backyard. Okay, so people that fucking cry about zoning regulations still refuse to acknowledge the problem with vacant houses. If there are 6 vacant houses for every homeless person in the fucking country, then why the fuck are we not trying to tackle the issue of vacant houses? Why? Because just like property value will decrease if the market is oversaturated with affordable houses, the same issue remains if there is government housing or public housing. Some sort of social housing. None of those vacant houses are in San Francisco. That's literally not true. The San Francisco metropolitan area alone has more vacant houses than the number of homeless people in the entire state of California. You're fucking wrong. Here you go. And people don't know this. You think like you're. I mean, the amount of available properties, or rather, the amount of vacant houses is still like lower than other places like in San Francisco, but still. There are well over 38,600 vacant houses in San Francisco alone, not the greater metro area either. Single zoning housing also forbids making 2 homes on one plot. Here, this is from 2019. San Francisco has nearly 5 empty homes per homeless resident. And the Bay Area's 10 largest cities combined sport 3 empty houses for every 2 persons without one. This video talks about why American regulation really fucks people trying to build affordable housing. The houses that can't be built in America. Confronting Hasan? What the fuck is that? Why not just rent a home? Friends in SF rent as opposed to purchase because of the issues you are seeing. If you invested the difference each year from renting as opposed to paying a note on a house, you would have more equity built up over time than if you purchased right now. Dude, I know, but I don't want to do that. Okay? What do you think? I'm crazy? You think I'm stupid? I know that if I took all of the fucking cash that I currently have and invested it put it back into the fucking stock market, I would literally make a lot more on that original investment than I would if I was purchasing a home. And there are ways to do it depending on how much time you want to fucking keep that money in. There are ways to do it in a way that is safe as well. So why are you against that? I just don't want to do it. I'd rather get a relatively low risk investment that also is a quality of life improvement. And I also hate stocks. You actually have no money sitting in index funds right now though? Well, I guess now I do, because I have a like self-employed 401k, or not a 401k, but what is it, like a SCP IRA or something? Like, so technically now, or Seth IRA, that's what I have. SCP IRA, that's what I have for retirement. Chad is mad when you're not making money and when you're making money. Yeah. The 1% own a majority of all stock, about more than half the shares, right? Remember you said that the Trainwrecks TV podcast? No, I said the top 10% of wealth in the United States of America own 90% of the stock market. Ban me, but I'm getting bored with all this adult talk. This is literally politics, dude. This isn't adult talk. This is politics through and through. And it's like we are talking about the consequences of politics. Me, a 14-year-old. Anyway, do you think you'll ever retire? I mean, eventually. Okay. I just wanted to show you guys Anthony Davis's new Bel Air mansion. $32 million. Holy fucking shit, dude. This is literally a what the fuck? Bro, this is a palace, motherfucker. God damn, dude. Oh my lord, dude. This is insane. What the fuck do you do with all this goddamn space, dude? Shit's looking like a Hitman mission again. I don't know how the fuck they do it. All right, let's finish this video and then we're gonna do
our zoning.
Home ownership is a catalyst for building wealth with the added benefit of providing safer neighborhoods for families and better schools for kids. But not everyone can afford to own a home.
That's why the home ownership solution is
Susan Watcher, professor of real estate and finance at the Wharton School. I love the background that she
a
put
solution, even now, for many households. The problem is getting into home ownership.
In the first quarter of 2021, the home ownership rate in the U.S. was 65.6%. According to the U.S. Census, the home ownership rate for white Americans in the U.S. is almost 74%, compared to 49% for Hispanic Americans and 45% for Black Americans. A major hurdle for many is the down payment. Typically, home buyers put 20% down when taking out a conventional mortgage.
We know that typically also requires having a certain amount of income. And for a lot of people, that is much easier said than done. For example,
remember, like, and this is obviously after people have already bought their houses too, but 40% of Americans do not have $400 in emergency funds, let alone enough capital to be able to put down 20% to purchase a home.
for people of color, it is much harder to be able to put down that type of down payment because they may not have the familiar support as people who come from more affluent neighborhoods.
These gaps are exceedingly troubling because the implications of them are very pervasive. Black household wealth is 1/10 what it is for white households, and a large portion of that gap is due to the lack of home ownership. Even though mortgage rates are at historic lows, there's been a ratcheting up of the qualifications that are required to borrow to become a homeowner, and that has impacted minority households more than majority households.
Buyers paying less than a 20% down payment are often subject to primary mortgage insurance. That can range from an additional $30 to $70 per month for every $100,000 borrowed, according to Zillow. Student debt is another barrier many first-time home buyers face. According to the National Association of Realtors, the average home buyer in 2020 carried $30,000 in
student debt all the way back from, like, I think 2017 for me is part of the reason beyond not having a credit card, but other part of the reason why my credit score is low, because I was late on a loan payment. Well, not on a loan payment, but late 3 times. Would be nice if you would stop chewing on your fingernails. Do it at least off stream. No. How about you fucking leave, jackass? I'm live fucking like 8 to 10 hours a day. What do you want me to do?
student debt.
When I talk to young people, a lot of times they are trying to pay their rent versus their grocery, or they're trying to pay their student loans.
Single-family zoning, pervasive across much of the U.S., limits the number of units that can be built on a plot of land, making it difficult for families to afford certain communities.
Single-family zoning has really been a barrier for lower to moderate income people to be able to live in particular neighborhoods, because single family zoning bans any type of home being built or any type of multifamily home or any type of detached home from being built, which is a huge barrier to people who are just trying to start off.
But that may be starting to change. In 2019, Oregon became the first state to pass legislation banning single-family zoning in most of the state. Around the same time, Minneapolis became the first big American city to end the practice.
So one of the major impediments to our shortage of housing, in addition to the land economics and the supply chain, is that we have a lot of communities in this country.
Damn, sounds like single-family zoning regulations should be removed. Damn, sounds like motherfuckers in a leftist community are watching a CNBC broadcast about single-family zoning regulations and taking it hook, line, and sinker when there are multiple different ways of eliminating this problem. Almost feels like you guys are a bunch of goddamn suckers who literally turn like this on a moment's notice.
That don't want to have affordable housing. They don't want to have anything other than large suburban estates, if you will. And I think we need greater exercise of federal policy over these local communities that are utilizing exclusionary zoning to really grossly impact the provision of affordable housing.
The federal government is taking steps to increase affordable housing too. In April 2021, the Biden administration announced a $5 billion plan providing financial incentives to push local governments to allow multifamily dwellings in neighborhoods that are currently restricted to single-family homes.
This is a market for housing, for home ownership, for those who wish to get into home ownership and those who are homeowners. People are expanding their homes, they're renovating their homes, they're building out new backyards. So this is a homeowner's economy. There's never been a stronger economy for homeowners than now. And as a contribution to the overall economy, home ownership is more important than ever.
Hold on, I am promoting that. Yes, I know there's a new all gas, no breaks video from Andrew's new project, channel 5. And yes, I'm watching it now. So get in and don't ask me about it. Finally, there it is, dude. There it is, boys. We're watching it. Unfortunately, it's only fucking 5 minutes. Tons of cities place minimum income requirements on their modern affordable housing reforms. Bro, why are you defending single-family zoning? Not every regulation is good. I don't have a dog in the fight of single-family zoning. You support exclusionary zoning because you have the money to buy a single-family home? No, I don't have a dog in that fight at all. I don't give a shit. Hey, idiots! If I have enough money to fucking purchase a single-family zoned house, then why do I give a fuck? Then I'll just go buy it. No skin off my fucking bones. Also, I'm in Los Angeles. Like, the regulations for single family zoning in LA are very different than a place like fucking Oregon. The actual fucking houses that are available in Los Angeles are already like literally on top of one another. I'm sure they could probably eliminate single family zoning in like the parts of LA that I live in. But most people that hyper focus, the reason why I get mad at this is because people hyper focus on the housing supply over and over and over again. In LA, they let you make a detached dwelling if you have a garage or something. Yes. In LA, a lot of single family houses have detached garages, and they basically most LA houses that you look at will have like either unsanctioned auxiliary dwelling units or permitted auxiliary dwelling units. Ever considered Connecticut? Just curious? No. Buying a house, like, we have no way of knowing you'll pay back this loan for $1,000 a month. I've been paying my landlord $1,500 a month. Why can't you save up $40,000 as a down payment to prove us? Because I've been paying landlord $1,500 a month. Yeah. What do you mean? It's literally the basis of Austrian economics. They're liberals. What do you expect? Yeah, I just like, but it's very frustrating to see like an otherwise leftist community have such blistering fucking hot takes on housing. There's blood in that. Have you looked at townhouses? Dude, I don't want to live on top of someone else, dude. Why? Like, I'll just stay here then. Why the fuck would I move? Like, part of the point of why I want to fucking get a house is so that I have the privacy to fucking be able to yell without fear that like I'm gonna get I'm gonna get my neighbors upset. If I live, you don't live on top of people in townhouses? Yes, you do. A townhouse is a fucking regular house separated into two, and there's like a barrier in between, okay? And that's it. It's not on top, but like you're still living basically on top of one another. I didn't mean on top literally like as though on top of them with your unit being on top of them. I meant like very close to one another. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. People are so dumb. Understand the point I am mentioning. Okay? Üst üste oturuyorsunuz. Nasıl anlatayım bunu Amerikalılara ya? A townhouse, a tall terrace house, no up or under. Fuck! I don't mean literally on top of them. I mean figuratively on top of one another, as in close, like literally your houses are touching one another. A townhouse is like a fucking, oftentimes like a duplex that is two duplexes side by side. It's like a big house cut in half. You are sharing walls with another person, okay? So when I say you're living on top of one another, I don't mean like literally above, like a fucking apartment. Why is every baboon in my chat so quick to try to overcorrect, thinking that you're gonna come across as smart? Like, most people understand exactly what I'm saying, okay? Most people understand exactly what I'm saying when I say on top of one another. They don't literally think, oh my God, he must not know what a townhouse is. Why are people so stupid? Like, fuck. Some townhouses you are sharing a wall. Other townhouses the house is cut in half, so you're not like literally sharing a wall. Yes. Why would someone live in a house like that? So it's cheaper and more affordable. Ironically, part of the reason why I need my own fucking place is so that, you know, when I yell like this about townhouses at fucking idiots who are like, I actually know what a townhouse is and you don't, it'll make me feel a lot smarter about myself when I misunderstand like the statement that you were making. I yell at them and I am not fearful of being evicted. Where's the blood in this video?
Two peoples with